let's look at a recap of Kettering. Now that you've seen the recap, let's look at some of our matches. Let's start with our first match.
In 3, 2, 1, go!
And it's the beginning of the autonomous period in match number 1 here at Kettering, event number 2 on Ford Field. We have all 3 blue robots working. We have 2 of our 3 red robots working as we wind down to the end of the autonomous period. We move into the teleoperated period with red ahead 30-13 for blue. Robo Sapiens grabs the cube, scores at mid-level as they go back to pick up some of that free cargo in the middle of the field. Meanwhile, their 2 blue counterparts, the Chimeras and 3667, that's the Mechanum Knights, also working to score some points for blue. Red was ahead during the autonomous period. Blue's making this one close as we have about 90 seconds left in this match. Red is maintaining a short lead, but let's see what happens at the end of this one. Chimera is up and over the station to run into their loading station as they get a little bit of pushback from 1566. That's the Fabricators doing a little D on that machine from Lapeer. 4779, that's the Robo Sapiens, again scores high as we've got a minute left in this one. 1 minute left, again, still a close score. Red up by 7. We'll have to see what happens in the end game period this time. Chimeras have another cone moving into their community to give us a score. Meanwhile, over on the Red Alliance, all 3 robots working well. Pie's pushing that red score up as we come up to our end game period. End game means the teams can load up on their charge stations. If they can balance it out, they get some extra points. On the last cycle, our Pie team dropped some of their some robot parts on the field. We'll have to see how that turns out as we've got 2 red robots up, 2 blue robots up. Both these docking stations are engaged, and that's the end of qualification match number 1. Of 108 to 108, excellent scores for our first qualification match.
Now let's look at the semifinals.
Drivers behind the line in 3, 2, 1, go!
It's the autonomous period in match number 11 in our playoffs here on Ford Field. All 6 robots working. Martians going up to engage in their station. Chimera's doing the same. Chimeras get the engage. Martians just miss it as we go into the teleoperated period with Red ahead 32-25. Team Knight Rider pushing some of those game pieces into their blue community. The way we've been seeing them do it all tournament. Meanwhile, Chimeras use that unique swerve drive to shoot across the field to grab some more game pieces. Meanwhile, on the Red Alliance, Martians shoot high, they score high as they zip across the field to get more game pieces. Mechanum Knights going for some easy cargo scoring over on the blue community. They shoot high and they score again. Chimera's up and scoring again. Martians grabbing some more game pieces as the crew from Waterford play some pretty tough defense for the Red Alliance right out in the middle of the field. Knight Rider working at getting the balance on that station as we've got less than a minute left. Less than a minute, 20 points between these alliances. Reds up 89-74. We've got 2 links on the Blue Alliance. We got 4 links on the Red Alliance as these teams are getting closer to the end game period. Chimera's shooting across the field again to score, as are the Martians. Waterford mixing it up in the middle, doing some good defense as we are 18 seconds left from the end of this one. We got 3 blue robots up. Engaged. We've got 2 robots up on the red side. Is Waterford going to make it? Oh, they might. Let's see what happens. We've got 1 second left, and this this playoff match, they will remain in the upper bracket, and they are going to finals. It's the first team that we have designated for our finals here at Kettering, week number 2.
Drivers behind the line in 3, 2, 1, go.
It is the autonomous period in our first finals match on Ford Field at Kettering, event number 2. Martians are up on their charge station. Chimera's up on their charge station, not engaged, as we go into the teleoperated period with blue ahead 27-21. Trucktown Thunder hung up a little bit during autonomous period. They got their machine free and they are ready to roam and do some scoring for the Blue Alliance. Meanwhile, Martians doing what Martians do. Picking up game pieces, shooting across that field, and scoring for the Blue Alliance. Chimera's had a little bit of rough action there with Trucktown Thunder. Chimera's does have a cone. They score up high as they shoot back. Meanwhile, also on the Blue Alliance, our Waterford machine is taking a little bit of a break from the competition. Hopefully they can save their battery power and start that machine up and going again. Meanwhile, Martians working the blue side by themselves, keeping the score close as we get closer to a minute left in this competition. The Waterford machine is back up on running. We've got less than a minute left. Less than a minute. Red's pulling ahead. McCannum Knights waiting to grab some game pieces over in the red community as 1684 grabs some more game pieces, shoots across the field, and scores medium. We're getting close to the end game period. Red 75, blue 54. Let's see what these alliances can do to wrap this one up. Martians are up on the charge station. They are engaged. Meanwhile, we have 2, or is it 3, red robots up on their charge station. 2 robots up and engaged. Let's see if Knight Rider can get it done. We got 4 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Red engages, and we will see how this one turns. With the Red Alliance with a score of 108 versus 76.
Now let's look at the interviews and see how the kids are feeling.
I'm Kaylee Crumpley.
And I'm Luke Vanderhavel.
How did you feel about getting second in the finals?
So it was really big for the team. We didn't really know how we were going to be going in, so it was kind of a surprise to go to the finals and end up getting second overall, which it was a little upsetting not to get first because we were so close. But like I said, going into it, we were a little shaky. We finished about a little above mid. We got picked by a good alliance, made a good run, and we'll take second.
So since this is your first year, how did you feel getting out for your very first match?
I was really nervous, especially for that first match. We were the first match. They did all the opening ceremonies for us, and I'm sitting at the drive station just like shaking like I don't even know, freezing man. But it was nerves galore. But once I got the first match through, it was way better after that. A lot of fun.
I'm Kaylee Crumpley.
I'm Bailey McRoby.
So for Kettering, how did you feel about getting second in the finals?
I think that we did an awesome job for our first competition of the season, especially when we were scrambling to put code in the last couple of days. And I think that the teams that we were played with and everyone at the event was just super supportive and really nice.
Okay, since you are a returning member, how did you feel getting back out on the field?
It was definitely different than last year based off of all of the COVID limitations that we had to go through. It was definitely nice to be getting back to just regular competition and not having to worry about masks or anything like that. But it was overall just great to be back out there.
I'm Ash, and this is
Jay.
And how do you feel about getting second during finals at Kettering?
Pretty good. Honestly, didn't expect us to get that far. I kind of expected us to kind of lose the finals since we already lost that team one other time. But other than that, we did really good, and I'm super happy that we got top 3.
Yeah, and because you're a returning member, how did you feel being back out there?
Absolutely loved it. I'm so used to Kettering. It's one of the most welcoming competitions I've ever been to. Probably out of all the competitions I've been to, probably my favorite place to go. That's about all I can say.
All right. What's your name?
My name is Benjamin O'Donnell.
All right, and how do you feel about getting second during finals at Kettering?
Very good, since it was my first ever competition.
All right, and because you're new, how did it feel to be at your first competition?
Very exciting, and it was much bigger than I was anticipating it to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot bigger than most people think it is.
Okay. I'm Kaylee.
And I'm Ash.
How did you feel about getting second in the finals?
Well, it was definitely interesting because it was something that none of us expected. Like, I don't really know how to explain it because it's just great. But how did you feel?
For me, it was very interesting and cool. I'm human player on Drive Team, so for me, that was a completely out of the box experience that I've never done before. So it was very cool to be able to like be firsthand involved with it. So for me, it was very cool and interesting. Since you are a returning member, how do you feel about getting back out there?
Well, it's so much fun. Like, it's a great experience. So if you have the opportunity to, be out there and do it, do it. Just do it. It's really fun. But because you're new, how did you feel?
Like I said, being human player was very fun and an out-of-the-box experience, so I greatly enjoyed it, being out there for my first time.
Now let's look at the finals.